everyone, this is SD from Blender File, and today I'll be introducing you to Blender. This tutorial is for the extreme beginners who are just very new to Blender. So I have made a small PPT on this tutorial. Let's quickly have a look and get started. So in this tutorial what we are going to learn is what is Blender and where can you get it. The next thing we'll be learning is the viewport and the scene of Blender and how to work in it. And at last we'll be learning some few things, basic things that you should know before you can start blending. So let's get started. What is Blender? Sorry. Blender is a 3D open source software. It can be used for making 3D graphics, animations, and as well as games. To some extent it can also be used for video editing. Okay, so where can you get Blender? You can find Blender on its official site. It's blender.org, as it is free. It is free, so you just don't need to pay someone. Just press this download button over here and then it will open you, it will redirect you to this page. And wait a sec. Okay, and then you just choose your operating system, choose your package, and then choose this USA link. I will recommend you choose the USA link. This one is good. Okay, once you have downloaded and installed Blender, you will open Blender and yeah, this scene will come up. So this is the splash screen of Blender. It keeps the track of all the recent activities you have done in Blender, and then it also gives the link to its online manual and many more things. Over here is the preset. If you are switching over to Blender from any other 3D software like Maya or 3ds Max, then if you choose this preset, then the way the keyboard and mouse is used by Maya or 3ds Max, Blender will use the same format, so that you are at a ease of modeling in Blender. So let's quickly snap out of it. Just click out of this box, and what you are going to see is the default scene of Blender. So let's quickly have a look around before we get started with this thing. Okay, in the center, this black dark portion is your 3D viewport. This is where you are going to make your object, animation, and game, etc. On the left side is the toolbar. It helps you to model your mesh and animation and all that. Okay, down here is the timeline. It is used for making the animation. I guess you guessed it. Okay, on top right, this here is the outliner. It keeps an hierarchical record of all the things in your scene, which are these three right now. That is the camera, cube, and lamp. Down here is the properties, object properties. It is a big tab and it won't be explained right now because it is out of the scope of this tutorial, but I'll be explaining everything to you while we make something. Because if you're learning any 3D software, if you just learn everything, you won't be able to work. So the best way to learn something is to make a scene and get the use of the tool you are using. Okay, so next is the 3D viewport. So if you want to explore, first thing I know you will do is left click, and when you left click you see this cursor, this crosshair moves here and there. That is pretty annoying because you are not able to select anything. The reason is Blender uses right click to select any object you want to. So like if you want to select this one, just right click over here, and if you want to select this one, right click on that, and it will select the object for you. The object selected is marked in orange. Okay, back to this. So the scene consists of three objects right now. This is the camera, and this is the lamp, and this is the default object, which is a cube right now. Okay, so what is the function of the camera? Okay, its function is pretty usual and familiar to a real camera. Anything that is visible through the camera will be recorded in your scene, in your image or animation, whatever you are making. The lamp is the default lighting source in your scene. So from here, this lamp light will be coming out like that, every direction. Okay, next. So if you want to have a look around your 3D workspace, how to press the middle mouse button, and while holding it, move your mouse and it will move your viewport like that. Pretty easy. Okay, next is to pan. To pan, press shift then middle mouse button and move your mouse, and you will be able to pan the view. Okay, so these are some few basic things you must know. Next thing is how to add something you want to. Okay, so first thing is, whatever thing you are adding, it will be added to exactly the center of this cursor. Like if I want to add something over here, so I'll just go over here, add button, mesh, and then select something. Okay, you will notice that this place here of mine is pretty bigger than what is there in your Blender. This is because I have enabled some add-ons. I'll be telling you about them in our next video. I'll be explaining how to get these. Okay, right now let's add some basic things, like let's add an icosphere. So you see, I have added an icosphere and it is exactly where the cursor was. Okay, so like that you can add, and the keyboard shortcut to add any object is Shift A. Shift A, you can then select anything you want. Let's add icosphere again. Oh, okay, now you can see both objects are exactly in the same place. Let's move it. Okay, to move, there are three arrows you can see. This red one is x-axis, y is y-axis, and green is y-axis, sorry, and the blue one is the z-axis. Okay, this arrow shows this is the grabbing one. Just left click on it and grab your object. To cancel any movement, just press right click while holding left click. Okay, that will cancel its movement. The keyboard shortcut is G for grab. Press G and it will grab the object for you. And then if you press left click, it will confirm. Okay, so if you want to move the object on x-axis, then just press G for grabbing, and then constrain it on the x-axis, sorry, just press X, and then you can move it on the x-axis only. And this is same for okay, sorry, that noise was of a truck. Okay, for y-axis press Y, and for Z press Z. Now if you want to move it along X and Y but not Z, press Shift Z and it will move it along X and Y but not Z, up and down. Okay, same goes for X. Now it will move on Z and Y but not X, and same is for Y. Now it will move X and Y but not X and Z but not Y. Okay, next thing is for scaling. Okay, to scale, the keyboard shortcut is S. Okay, and from here down here you can select this one. This is for scale. You can scale it through a single axis. It's better to use the keyboard shortcut as it is easier and faster. So press S and then move this arrow out or in, scale it accordingly. And for restricting it to a single axis, press X or Y or Z, whatever. Same for Shift Z, Shift X and Shift Y. Okay, next thing, if you want scaling to be precise, you can press the Shift key. It will increase this size slowly. That's awesome. Okay, next is for rotation. Let's rotate. Let's add another object. Let's add cylinder. Okay, cylinder, that will be good. For rotation, this one is the rotate manipulator. Select whichever axis you want, and I will keep it grab only. Now, to rotate, the keyboard shortcut is R for rotate, and then you can rotate it like that, and then you can also restrict it to axes, X, Y, Z, Shift Z, Shift X, Shift Y, whichever you want. Okay, next is, if you press the rotate key, R 2 times, it will open the trackball. It rotates it on the view, not like this one, which rotated only on single axis according to view. Okay, I guess that's it for this video. Just keep exploring Blender on your own. In the next tutorial, we'll be making a scene, and then we'll be coloring it. We'll be changing the lighting, and we'll be making an image, your first image if you are using Blender. You are a newbie. Okay, till then, explore it yourself, whatever you like. Stay tuned. I am SD from Blenderfile, and hope to see you in my next video. Thank you.